Good morning, Commanders Nation. I don't know if it's a good morning. I'm not overreacting. But we got to call a spade a spade. We got wrecked in every single facet of the freaking game yesterday. We looked deflated. We weren't as competitive. We weren't as tough. Our special teams looked atrocious. Our defense was missing tackles. We just weren't. We didn't have that edge. Doesn't matter if it's the second and third string players against the first string teams of the Patriots. But still, I'm not worried. I'm not, dude. I'm not. But let me stop yammering and let's hear Dan Quinn say this because, he himself was upset. Even though it's a preseason game, he's upset. And I don't blame him.
All right. Well, I thought when I told the team there was
my things are connected.
some hard lessons tonight. We have really high standards, and I thought, man. All right. Well, I thought when I told the team there's some hard lessons tonight. We have really high standards, and I thought, man, we missed them tonight by a lot. All three phases. So what I'm looking for over the next 10 days, like really good improvement, and they've made good strides. And even coming up here for the joint, a lot of evaluations take place between the practice and the game, and that's still the case. And I'll look forward to going through both and getting to it. There's some things early I saw that I liked. Saw some from Connerly, Amos, Newton, for a couple early that
The rookies balled out, dude. But yeah, he's upset, and rightfully so. Again, I'm not worried. I'm not. Because it's just a preseason game. It's just that they came out sluggish, never recovered from it. Now, granted, honestly, most of it offensively was due to Sam Hartman. But I don't want to shit on him, but it's just. But anyways, yeah, in this video, I'm going to talk about last night's preseason game. I'm going to talk about 5 dudes who stood out to me and 5 dudes who didn't stand out. 5 studs and duds or whatever, people call it. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. So first things first. The main thing why I feel like last night was not overly terrible, obviously, was because we had no injuries. No major injuries. Now, we had a couple dudes leave, including Bill. But there's no major injuries, and that's a dub always in my book. See, I'm not trying to be like the fanboy Homer thing. No, I'm a little bit ticked off, honestly. But I'm not worried whatsoever. I still think our team, the Commanders, we have a great season ahead of us. We're gonna be dogs. We're gonna be competitors, contenders, and I think AP and DQ cooked this offseason. But like how DQ looks like in this video, he looks a little upset because this is not the standard. And, I am primed to believe that this is going to change like this. This next week of practice, oh my God, they're going to feel it. And like I said, yeah, dude, I mean, we play with mostly our second stringers. We didn't play in our starters, second stringers, and third stringers against the first stringers of the Patriots. Come on now. But still, that's still not an excuse. Anyways, I want to go off first off before I go to my studs and duds. Josh Taylor dropped a beautiful article. Yeah, the first thing that came off to me was special teams. Very concerning. Gave up an opening touchdown. The first play, Matt Gay missed the first one from 49 yards. I'm going to include highlights here, but, but yeah, man, we had one of the best special teams tackling units in the league. And it looked atrocious last night. It did. That's one thing that I'm not worried about. I'm keeping a close eye on. I'm also keeping an eye on Gay. I like that, but I'm just gonna keep a close eye on Matt. I'm sorry. I'm scarred by last year with our kickers. Who wouldn't keep a close eye on Gay this year? The first one, as soon as he missed first one, went wide left. I was like, here we go. You know what I mean? I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, boy. But he came back, made it 1 for 37 yards, but still. The rookies balled out. I'm going to get to that in my stud and dud list. Depth of wide receiver is still a concern. Gallup, he was being targeted a lot. 6 targets, only had 2 catches, but it wasn't really all his fault. Sam Hartman, You know, Johnny Newton. Johnny Newton stayed up. He did his thing, even though it was Jacob Martin who set him up for that sack. Jacob Martin. Don't sleep on Jacob Martin. Ben Sinnott had a nice couple of catches. And we just looked out of it. The Patriots came out with more energy. We're more physical throughout the entire game. You know, we were missing some tackles here and there. The main one that I saw was a Tyler Owens missed tackle. I believe it was the first drive of the Patriots. I was like, come on, Owens. And I'm rooting for Owens. I want Owens to do it. I want him to be the starter, strong safety. But, you know, he'll bounce back. He's going to bounce back. Yeah, man, and penalties too. 13 penalties for 98 yards. That's insane. But let's go over here real quick. I'm going to go with duds first. Sam Hartman is number one. Now, 9 of 19 for 64 yards, 1 interception. The offense just never got in a groove. We just didn't. Now, Sam Hartman, he's Jaden Daniels' BFF. He's going to be fine in life. But I don't think he's an NFL-type player right now. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But like as of right now, I don't think he's there. He has a good future, though. If all else fails, he could be a model American Eagle. He, too, has good genes. He'll be fine. Sam Hartman's fine. I'm not worried about Sam Hartman, like, his future-wise. You know, but he's fine. But NFL-wise, he's not up to par. We heard Cliff Kingsbury say he's just having an up-and-down training camp. Hey, man. He's my number one. I'm just like, you saw the difference when Josh Johnson came in. But Hartman just looked, you know, I don't know, man. Just didn't look like it. He didn't look up to par, man. Balls inaccurate. The timing was horrible. Missing open wide receivers. And I'm not trying to dog him. I wish I had his genes. But you know what? He's going to be fine. But I don't know. NFL-wise, practice squad, maybe he makes his team, but I definitely not going to make this team as a starter. I think Josh Johnson. I've always been a fan of Josh Johnson. I think Josh Johnson should be QB3 going forward. Enough with the whole BFF thing, man. But yeah, he's definitely number one. Rigo's Rag dropped another article. They had Eddie Goldman there as the loser number one. I would put him in my dud list too. I was actually I was not excited, but I was just like, I want to see some Eddie Goldman because I did a video on him. And I was just like, wait a second, this is a dude who was a premier run stopper before we signed him, and then he retires, comes back, and I was just like, okay, maybe he shows some flashes here and there with the Falcons, even though he kind of a down season. This year, I'm just like, I'll make this video a little quicker. It's already 8 minutes long. Damn. Chris Moore. This guy had a great, he's been lauded throughout the entire offseason. Balling, impressing. Had a couple of the dropsies. I'm not worried about him, though, because I feel like he's shown enough. Like, you just see him in every single list. Chris Moore in training camp, OTAs, minicamp, how he's been impressing by the Commanders' website. So, but he's on my dud list. Wide receiver, you got to catch the ball, dude. But I'm not overly concerned about him. They're labeling Tyler Owens here as a dud. The first tackle, the open field tackle that he whiffed, but I did see a couple tackles that he did on the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to lie. But still, I still want to see a little bit more from him, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put him on my dud. Gallup himself, I think we're at my 4 duds right now. I mean, it's just with quarterback play. Like, you can't really evaluate the wide receivers if the quarterback's not even doing his thing. I wanted to see Jalen Lane, but he wasn't even playing that much. But like, you can't evaluate the quarterbacks. I mean, the wide receivers as much if the quarterbacks aren't just doing their thing. But I mean, looking at the stats, 2 of 6 for 27 yards. That's not looking good. But I don't know, man. It just seems like if the quarterback's not up to par, then the entire offense is going to look like shit. It's going to lower the value. It's going to lower the overall potential of every single position in the offense. To me, can I put Sam Hartman as 2 duds? Is that possible? He'll take up 2 spots in my duds. Because, I I don't know, man. But let me go to my studs real quick, and I might name more than 5 studs, but my first stud, even though Krosky Merritt was 7 of 24, 3.4 yards, you saw the difference with Krosky Merritt. You saw him making them miss open field tackles. You saw the burst. I was impressed with Krosky Merritt. I believe they have a couple of videos here. No. Where is it? Right here. I'm impressed with Krosky Merritt, dude. And the offensive line wasn't helping him as much. He's my first stud, even though the stats aren't showing it. 3.4 yards per carry. He looks like a bona fide, whenever he got the ball, he looked like he was, a threat. And also his hands. I'm sorry, but his hands coming out of college was not a big strength of his. His hands yesterday looked natural. Natural. One got called back by a flag. With Krosky Merritt, somebody on Twitter was saying, "Yeah, we've had a lot of 7th round picks who we've overvalued and they didn't end up being shit." He's right. They're right. They're right. But my retort is to this: most of those 7th round picks are dudes who are undersized, athletically not as gifted. They just fell. But Krosky Merritt is the combine warrior who fell to the 7th round pick, who's also a football player. I think that puts him in a different tier than previous 7th round picks, like dudes who we like Jimmy Moreland. He was one dude that I saw. But Krosky Merritt, no. He's the combine warrior meets football player, fell to the 7th round pick. I'm super impressed with Krosky Merritt. Yeah, 3.4 yards per carry, but the offensive line wasn't work. But you saw the difference with Krosky Merritt, man. Hopefully everything's well with him. He went out with the blue tent. Doesn't look like anything serious, though. Johnny Newton. I was surprised. He's my second stud. Johnny Newton, even though it was a stunt, sack, he was doing his thing. And I was surprised. I saw Johnny Newton play until the end of the first quarter, and I was just like, are you really going to play a starter until the end of the first quarter in the first preseason game? What does that show me is do they really think that Kinlaw is going to start over Newton? You don't really play a starter who's going to be like that until the end of the first quarter. I don't know. I feel like that's maybe an ominous sign, but Johnny Newton, it's this long. This video is already long. Johnny Newton was definitely one of my studs. Going on, Jeremy Reeves was laying the hammer down, smacking dudes left and right. He was one of my... hey, if it wasn't for Jeremy Reeves, our defense, well, considering this next guy I'm going to list off, our defense would have been 10 times worse. Jeremy Reeves, I'm going to go to pull off his stats. Let's see here. Where the hell's Jeremy Reeves? Oh, they're not even sure. Oh, yeah. 2 tackles, but I'm sorry. A couple of those were taken back by flags, but he looked the part of it yesterday. My third stud, Noah Igbinoghene. Noah, besides Jeremy Reeves, was the most impactful player, and Johnny Newton too. But Noah held his own in the slot. Nice tackling, helping in the run as he's always done with us since last year. This one thing I love about Noah is that he is not scared to get dirty. He will stick his nose in the run game. I like Noah, man. We got depth in the cornerback position. So that's 3 right now. 4, I'm going with Trey Amos. Trey Amos, 2 tackles, didn't give up a completion. But what I will admit about Trey Amos is that he just has a swag. He was targeted a couple times, one in the end zone, was stride to stride with the wide receiver. But he just has a swag. He has a swag you see him, you're just like, oh, that's CB1 on the opposing team, and you don't know his name. Trey Amos, man, he impressed me. Didn't even do that much. He just, my 5th one, I'm going with Connolly Jr. Or Connolly Jr. / Kane Madrano. Kane Madrano was doing his thing, but Connolly Jr. and DQ singled him out too. Connolly Jr. looked the part, was consistent. I didn't see him struggle that much in the pass blocking. Run blocking, in the entire offense struggled, but, and DQ, yeah, on Bill Krasky-Mary. I like the skills we're seeing from Bill. I'm encouraged. He makes plays. He got quickness. He loved the ball security he had tonight. Yeah, he was really ready to compete. He was. Bill also, like you saw him after his first carry, he jumped up and he was like, fuck these Patriots. That's what I want. But going back to Connolly Jr. Connolly Jr. looked the part, man. Connolly Jr. looked the part last night, holding down the right tackle position. So that's my 5. That's my 5 right there. Luke McCaffrey went out with an illness, but, 5 impressive dudes. Bill, honestly, the entire rookie class, most of the rookies showed out. Bill, Newton, Reeves, Ibinagne, Connolly Jr., don't forget K. Madrano. K. Madrano's a strong, he was a close one. But, overall, this is a one where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. We just wash our hands off with this one. A lot of duds, man. But, we got to learn from this. I think we will. No, I'm positive we will, because we got a great head coach in line with this. You even saw freaking Josh Harris walking out last night. He looked a bit pissed off, and so did Adam Peters. But, I'm going to end this video like this. I'm going to make another video tonight. But those are my 5 studs and duds and my overall observations about last night. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Till next video. Peace, y'all.